Hey, it's Krissie Bee, your friendly neighborhood journalist. Hey, thank you guys for watching. I'm Krissie Bee, your friendly neighborhood journalist, and you are watching Black News. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you guys. Welcome. If you guys have already seen any of our episodes, welcome back. We got so much stuff to cover. First off, I want to say shout out to MTS Network for having us, having all the shows and all of us on their streaming platform. Shout out to Aqua for being a dope producer. And we have so much things that I want to talk about today. So let's go ahead and get right into everything that we got going on. So our first story that we are going to cover is reparations for slavery. California, they're passing the bill of reparations and apologizing for slavery, saying, this debt is owed and has been owed. The California State Senate passed 3 reparation bills on Tuesday to provide restitution to the descendants of slaves. So basically, if you are a descendant of a slave, all you have to be, I guess you have to prove it, but you don't just have to be a descendant there, but that's kind of where it started. But you either have to be a Black Californian or, like I said, a descendant of slavery. You have to have lived there for your family has to have been there for the last 100 years. After the bill got headed to the assembly and everything, so the bill is proposing to give property compensation, cash payouts, either cash payouts or property compensation. So far, it's been voted out twice. They keep saying no, they're not trying to do that. They are gung-ho on being against giving literally what they owe. They're saying no. So another one was going to provide home ownership aid and property tax relief, and that one got thrown out as well. So, but these two that they're really pushing for, it's either going to be, the compensation, or they're going to help you get a home and things of that nature. So the California Freedmen Affairs Agency ensures that every recipient of the potential reparations has to meet certain requirements that we kind of talked about. You got to either be a descendant of a slave or a free Black person living in the U.S. prior to the 19th century. So, yeah, you get it. So, if we didn't get here until slavery, how the hell are you supposed to get compensated if your family was not here until you motherfuckers brought us here? So basically, they're like, in order for us to give you that money, you have to have been here already from before the 19th century. How, Sway?
How? And then a lot of people don't even know, their lineage to know, oh yeah,
Ancestry.com is about to pop. You hear me?
Man.
And so basically, he, when it was proposed and stuff like that, it was all right, compromise. You have to have already been here, or you have to be a descendant of a slave. So it's okay, I get the descendant of a slave part, but me, I know me and my family, my mom was very, very, very adamant about us knowing our lineage. So I know for a fact that I'm not a descendant of a slave. All of our stuff it traces all the way back to Ireland and stuff like that. That's why my last name is Black, from blacksmiths and stuff. But so it's you have to prove now, in order to get something that's already owed, you have to now prove that your people were slaves.
Because, we just came on our own.
Exactly. We just keep that proof in our back pockets. So, in rebuttal, this is what was said. This is basically all of that about having to prove it is wrong, is what he's saying. And he's also saying, this was already theirs, period. He said, and I quote, reparations is a debt that's owed to the descendants of slavery. This isn't a handout. It's not a charity or any of that by any measure. It's what was already promised, and it's what was owed. And it's 160 years overdue. That's what the Democratic State Senator Stephen Bradford said that. And he's also the one that wrote 3 of the bills that's kind of encouraging them to get the restitution done. So he's saying, if you can inherit, and I wanted to write this on Facebook because he ate with this one. If you can inherit generational wealth, then you can inherit generational debt. Pay your ancestors' debt.
Yeah.
So he spit with that one. He did. So basically, if y'all are telling us that generational wealth is the thing, then you guys are on the hook for y'all's generational debt that you guys owe now 100 years overdue. So how you feeling about it?
I mean, I agree. Like, you can't have it one way and not the other. So if you can inherit the wealth, like, you should be able to inherit the debt. But that goes for, both sides. I really, like, I know it's like for like slavery reparations or whatever, but that's black or white. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's shit that we did in the past too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's not act like everybody is scot free, because they ain't.
Right.
But you still gotta give back to whatever is owed. So
I feel like if we abolished it because we said that it was wrong and it was heinous and it was horrible, then we've acknowledged that it was fucked up, and so you need to now own up. You've already did the accountability part of it. We stopped doing it. So if you got to now fit that bill, give them people back that money.
Facts.
Give us back. I'm not gonna say give them people back. Give them back the money.
Yeah.
And so they were just asking, like, they took a toll, I guess, in California, like, if it does get passed, are you guys okay with giving money? And over half of the Californians was like, I want to just give them money. And it's like, it's not up to you. We didn't want to just work for free. The fuck? Like, you don't get to decide now how you pay somebody back. You took lives. You killed.
Still taking lives.
You don't get to now choose, like, all right, it's going to be a cashier's check and you're going to get it. Your family's going to get it every 30 days. No, that's not on you to now be like, if I give them the money, what are they going to do? None of your fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a payout. It's like you said, it's not charity. You're not just giving this just to be giving it. You're giving it because it's owed. That's their money. That's our money. Whatever you fucking want to do with it, we're doing it. That's
our money, and we need it now.
Period. So let's go ahead and move on to our next story. A family of a black teen in Pennsylvania are filing a lawsuit after 100 years. So basically, he was the first, or he's still in history. He was one of the youngest people to be executed in Pennsylvania. He got executed when he was 16 years old.
Wow.
Right. The family of Alexander McClay Williams, he was a black teen that was wrongfully executed. They have now filed a lawsuit, and they're seeking unspecified punitive damages for his execution in 1932.
Wow.
Yes. So at first, I was like, that's a long, long time to sit on it, you know? Like, it made me want to research, like, why 100 years? Mm-hmm. They didn't just sit on it. So here's the story. So he was the youngest person to be put to death by the state. His whole case was pardoned in 2022. Basically, new evidence came out that said all that shit y'all said about him was cap. So it was pardoned. He was expunged, but he's already been gone. Yeah, he's already been gone. Here's the beautiful thing about it. What really made them re-look up that case is when the new trial came out, the defense attorney and everything that was on his side was like the great grandson of the person that originally was defending him. Mm-hmm. So it was like his grandson was like this was something that it was never solved, and my granddaddy worked on it, and he took up the case, reopened it and everything, and more evidence and everything came out, and his innocence was proven. He was innocent, but now it's 100 years later and stuff, and the family was like, we have to drop it. He's on history for being the youngest person killed here, and he didn't even do that. We're not dropping it.
Yeah, so you can't bring him back.
Exactly. So his family maintained his innocence during the trial and after his execution. The Delaware DA said that he should have never been convicted, that the public needs to acknowledge and recognize their mistake. Yeah. And it doesn't matter that it was 100 years later. If you guys are saying, yep, you didn't do it, now you got to pony up, like we was talking about a while ago.
You can't just be like, oh yeah, nah, he didn't do it, and then that was that.
Right.
Y'all have, taken this young man's life. You took
him from his family at 16. He never had kids. He never had a family. He never had nothing.
He didn't even get a chance to he didn't have a life.
Mm-hmm. And so dig this. He was convicted for the murder of a white woman, Vita Robert. She was 34. She was a house matron for Glen Mills School for Boys. So basically, he was like in a school for boys. I guess, what would you call that back in the 30s? Like a boarding school?
Basically.
Okay. She was found stabbed 47 times in her house. And automatically, they was like, it was one of them black kids. And here's what's crazy. Even though the prosecutors and everybody knew that she was going through a nasty divorce with this dude that publicly humiliated her every chance he could get. All her friends and everybody.
2 didn't equal 4.
Right.
Okay.
Everybody that was around them is like, yeah, he's horrible to her. He was horrible to her in marriage. And they still said that this stranger that didn't even know her was the one that stabbed her 47 times. But
yeah,
guess who
but I
found her?
mean,
Guess who-
47 times.
Personal.
That's personal.
Guess who found her? The husband that she was divorcing that kicked her out and made her go by herself. How you found her? So the husband found her, and family members and friends said her husband hated her in life. Like, what was he even over there for?
That's crazy.
He was publicly cruel to her and everything. So the little, he was executed, the boy, I want to make sure I'm saying his name right. Alexander McClay was executed on June 8th, 1931. Decades later, Sam Lemon, which is actually, like I said, that's the great-grandson of the trial attorney. He picked it back up. He uncovered all the evidence, and he was like, her husband's the one that did it. It doesn't matter now. He's not alive anymore either.
Yeah.
But once you guys have now
you got to live a full life, though.
Right, exactly. Now you have let the one off the hook that you knew damn well did it, and you didn't say that this guy was innocent until his life was over. 100 years later, you need to pay that family. So he's fighting right now. They're fighting right now to get them punitive damages and stuff like that.
As they should.
I don't think that they should ever stop. And so whoever in the family is left, I feel like that family should be taken care of because y'all took that baby from them for absolutely positively nothing. And it's kind of starting to look like a pattern, you know, still to this day, not even just like in the 30s. Like it's starting to look like a pattern or just senseless cases that don't make sense of us losing ours. And that's crazy. It's really, really sad. But I hope that it all works out for them and that they all get what they're supposed to get. And I hope they get it soon while they can enjoy it. Because knowing them, they're not going to give it to them until there's nobody left. And it's like, you're 97, here you go, here's your check. No, give it to them now. So you ready?
It's my money and I want it now.
Exactly. I feel like that's going to be the theme of the show today. We're going to move on to some celebrity headlines, y'all. I keep trying not to talk about them. I really do. But every time I wake up, it's some new stuff. Did he do it? So this isn't even really about him, but kind of, sort of. This is more so about 50. So, you know, they've had that long beef. The beef is so long, I don't even remember what they mad at each other about. But 50 and Diddy, you know, they've been going back and forth. And so 50 has said that Netflix has won the bidding war for his docuseries on Diddy titled Did He Do It? So he had a docuseries and he wanted to focus basically on all of Diddy's sexual allegations and his violence and all this stuff and his 50 cents. And you know, he produces some bomb ass shit. So the show gonna slap. But you already know that he's also a petty Betty. Like he is the pettiest of Bettys. And so of course he had to do something about Diddy. And so Netflix jumped on that shit like, we want the show. We'll produce it. We'll do it. We'll air it. What's up? And so Diddy was like, bet. So are y'all watching? You gonna watch?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch because I want to see what he got to say.
But here is another reason why Diddy is a business mogul. Yeah, he's clowning. Yeah, he's got this show. Yeah, we know he's only doing it to dig at Diddy. But all the proceeds from his show that he earns is going to benefit women that have been people that have been sexually assaulted.
And that's what's up.
So it's to all the victims of sexual assault. So I can't even be mad at that because it's like everybody's already going to be talking about what Diddy did already. Everybody's talking about it for free. 50 Cent is talking about it and he's kind of clowning, but he's also giving the money to help somebody else that's going through it.
Yeah. So
I can't be too fucked up about it. It's kind of marketing brilliance to me. So I can't say if I'm going to tune in or not because I just can't watch too much stuff about women getting abused.
Yeah.
And I can't. But if it's raising proceeds, it's raising proceeds. And hey, get it how you get it. Black people will swim. Can you swim?
I sure can't. My name is Aqua. What would it look like if I couldn't swim?
Listen, I know a lot of black people, no shade, that cannot and will not swim.
I know a lot that cannot and will not as well.
And so here, and according to statistics, 64% of black people cannot swim.
That's accurate.
So meet Paulina Lumineer. She's a New York native, and she's trying to make strides to change that. She says 1 in 4 kids die from drowning, and if 64% of the people that can't swim are us, that means that 2 of our babies are the ones out of those kids that are dying from drowning, which makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. So she tweeted a few years ago that she wanted to help 30 black kids learn to swim before the end of that year. And so it kind of took off from there. She went viral, and she ended up quitting her job. And she wanted to launch a whole Black People Will Swim campaign, basically saving lives. And that's literally what she did. So by the end of the year, not only did her program help 30 Black kids learn how to swim, it helped 2,500 Black people, period. And they were coming, she was doing it at the YMCA and, like, you know, teaching people and everything. And so now it's grown, like, to this big old organization, and she's got swim instructors and everything of color. Which is dope because, you know, if you already have a fear of water and why you're not going in the water, it's kind of going to be representation in the water matters. Like, oh, y'all not scared. All right, I'm going to get in too. I'm just saying. And she spit some real shit on why she feels. She's not saying that this is scientific. She's just saying to her why she feels like there's a generation of people that was like, we don't swim. Black people don't swim. And here's why she said it. She was like, segregation. Privileged people got to swim, and you didn't get to go into everybody's pools and stuff. And so, yeah, there were people out there like on some, fuck it, I'm gonna swim anyway. Power to the people. But there was a lot of people that were not problematic and it was just on some, baby, you just can't go to the pool. And then, you know, it's like a lot of kids just, that's how they grew up. We're not even about to touch that. And so that's why she feels like there's with this whole gap. And if you think about it, the age of people that can't swim and kind of pass that on. My mama wasn't getting into nobody's water.
My grandma got in the pool with me one time, and she was on my back. Like, I was like, I don't know if I can hold us both.
God rest my mama's soul. But I remember we wanted to go to the lake with our church so bad. My mama put on her swim shoes, and she stepped on a rock, and she felt that rock touch her shoe. She took that stuff off, and she sat down, and she was like, nope, I tried it, I'm not. And I'm like, Mama, you didn't even get to the water. And she was like, we already not supposed to be in the water. And so it's kind of true, you know? Like, that's kind of the mentality that kind of came with that. Yeah. So I had to think about it like that, too. Like, I've never thought about why a certain age gap in a certain generation was...
You know, that's pretty interesting. And maybe it also could be, like, where people are from. Because, like... My mom and my wife are relatively close in age. My wife was swimming like a fish. I ain't never seen my mama get in the water.
That's my mama. And me as a kid wanting to play in the water, I know I'm not the only one. My mama made me feel like the water was the dirtiest stuff, whether it was chlorine, lake water, pool water. It was and take them clothes, get out of that, wash your hair, wash all that off your body. And I'm just like, it's just water, mama.
I gotta wash with water to wash the water.
You want me to use the water? But it's dirty water. That's nasty water. That's lake water. And so, yeah, my mama wasn't touching water either. So I think it is kind of like a generational thing. So shout out Paulina.
Yeah,
helping us swim. I threw my kids in early. They love to swim. They love the water.
My grandpa tossed me in when I was 2.
They love the water.
Thank God for diapers because I floated my way back. But
that diaper was full,
wasn't it?
Lifesaver. We're gonna move on to this one. This one pisses me off because I feel like we give people a chance to. We see people do fuck shit. And it gets overlooked until they do fuck shit and it hurts somebody bad. And now we want to be like, oh, yeah, he did this once before. So let's get into it. Y'all know who Derek Chauvin is? The motherfucker that put his knee on George Floyd's neck and he passed away. Well, apparently, this motherfucker did this shit way before George Floyd passed away to a female. Right now, he's back in the headlines. He's being accused of putting his knee on a woman's back months before George Floyd's murder. Former Minneapolis police officer did it again. Or I guess George would have been probably not even the second person or whatever. This is probably some shit like how the Goon Squad had a lot of stuff going on. So here's what the report says pretty much. Patty Day, she has a lawsuit right now. She has a federal lawsuit right now in court for Chauvin. The only reason that her stuff is like lagging and taking forever is because he's still going through the George Floyd trial. And so it's not like they can stop and be like, she said it too. She's got to wait now as well. So she's accusing him and his partner, Ellen Jensen. I don't know who that is, but I guess it was another female officer, of using excessive force on January 20th when she was resisting arrest, or January 2020 when she was resisting. She said she wasn't resisting arrest. So pretty much, She says her 4th and 14th Amendment rights were violated. The Fourth Amendment, if I can remember, it's like basically you can't just like roll up on somebody and do unreasonable searches in their property, on their vehicle or whatever. You have to announce yourself, say who you are and what you're about to do. She says that didn't happen. They just yanked her out of her car. And then the 14th Amendment, of course, is you can't use excessive force on another human, period. That's you just can't do that just because you're a cop. So she was a communications public outreach director at the Department of Public Works. She said that she was violently ripped from her car and she was thrown to the floor by Chauvin, and he put his knee on her back. When he yanked her out the car and threw her to the floor, she ended up chipping two of her teeth. She fractured it. Basically, he chipped her tooth. He fractured her damn tooth. She had bruises all over her body. So basically, that day. And she's not even saying that she wasn't wrong. She said that day, her and her husband, when she got home, he was telling her that he wanted her to leave and that he wanted a divorce. She started drinking and then she left. Midway to her destination of where she was going, she was like, I shouldn't be drinking. And so she pulls over. And when she pulled over into a snowbank, neighbors called the cops because they didn't know why she was in their yard. So they called the cops first, but these same neighbors, they went out there to check on her and be like, you good? Blah, 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 blah. So before Chauvin and his partner pull up, the neighbors are already checking on her. Her keys are already out of the ignition. She put her keys in the back seat. Neighbors are already saying all of this when they pull up on the scene on some. We didn't know who she was, but it just turns out that she's having a hard time at home, so we just gonna let her sleep it off. Neighbors are already saying it's not that big of a deal. They're not listening to neighbors. They still go over to her car and they yank her out of her car. And the neighbors is like, chill. We know we called y'all. We thought it was something else. We came and investigated. It's not. She's just having a bad day. She made a bad mistake, but she pulled over. We didn't even tell her to stop. She pulled over because she knew she was too drunk. And we're just let her sleep it off. Her keys are in the back seat. The officer, like I said, they yanked her out the car. The female officer yanked the door open and started pulling on her. Why are you pulling her legs? She's pulling the legs. He's pulling the arms.
Get out the car if you hold my legs. Like, wait a minute.
And they threw her in a snowbank.
Wow.
Right. And so here's what's crazy though. Like it's just gonna keep on getting crazier and crazier. After they threw her in the snowbank or whatever, they leave all of that stuff out whenever they do the document of the report, the police report. They leave everything out. They don't even say that they pulled her out of the car or anything. They said that she was resisting arrest, and when they pulled up, she was belligerent. The neighbors were actually the ones like, yeah, when they pulled up, they did all kinds of crazy shit to this. Like it's like they left all that out of the report. And so they were trying to figure out how her tooth got cracked, and they kept trying to say it just got cracked because she was drunk. So the body cam footage confirms everything she's saying, which for me is like, so why did it have to be when George Floyd died that we're now mentioning it? Because
more importantly, I know y'all saw the body cam.
That's what I'm saying. You saw it with the report. When he made the report and turned in his body cam fucking footage,
so
you saw it.
So the whole squad is reliable at this point. Like, that's how I feel.
Exactly. And so the body, like I said, body cam footage confirmed everything this female is saying. Day was still charged with 2 gross misdemeanors of 3rd-degree DWI, and she had a temporary revoked license. And her hearing was in February of 2021, while he was already on trial for George Floyd, which is why I'm so upset, because he did this to someone. You saw his body cam footage. You saw how the stories didn't match. You gave him his gun and his badge back, and then he killed somebody.
That's wild.
And this is all they had to say. We don't condone the way that interaction went down. We are against violence, and we do not condone any of Chauvin's behavior. He's got a documented pattern of misconduct, and it was ignored by that police department. He's got, here's his other victims. Here's the other people that actually said, this nigga did that shit, and I'll stand up and say it with my name. John Pope, Zoya Code. Millions of dollars for that city have been paid in excessive force cases. You want to know how much? In the last 2 decades, $80 million for unconstitutional use of excessive force for the MPD officers. That's $80 million. What? Why are these people still cops?
Like, tired of paying?
Defund your whole police department and start it over.
Yeah.
Start it all the way over down to
at the top.
Yes, for everybody that's letting it happen, not even the ones that's putting their hands on it, from all the way to the top. You need to defund that whole and start over. Shouldn't nobody be left. Because anyone that saw the body cam, anyone that approved him getting back on, you're all wrong. You're wrong for her. You're wrong for them other people that got hit by him. And you're definitely wrong for Floyd. That's not even here no more. Like, that's fucked up.
And you're wrong for anybody else that has gotten it because the other police have seen, oh, it's okay. He didn't get in trouble, so I ain't going to get in trouble.
And it's like, what the hell? Like, how is somebody that's already on trial for murder for doing this, now it's still coming out like, he did it to me too. He did it to me too. Shit, I've been saying something.
It's like a whole nother Me Too movement.
Right. It's like, damn, that's crazy. And it's like, but didn't he get stabbed or something like that in jail?
You know, I thought I had just
like multiple stabbings
about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Karma.
You know, sometimes. Most times, it's always going to get you. But they need to do something about his partner, too, because her name was listed. So I want to know what's up with her.
We'll have to follow up on that.
We will follow up. And before we get into some more celebrity tea, let's go ahead and take a quick break.
My name is Eric Russ. I'm the owner of Texas Tactical Security out of Dallas, Texas. We are licensed and insured with Texas Department of Public Safety. Our license number is B229-77601. We're located at 5787 Southampton Road, Suite 255 in Dallas, Texas. If you need services, we provide escorts, armed and unarmed security, courtesy patrol, and residential commercial services in the full spectrum, all over the state of Texas. Don't worry, our team is continuously trained by local city and sheriff department officers. And all our team members have CPR and BLS training within their belt with our company. If you need our services, give us a call at 214-384-5251 or just search on social media or Google, just search Texas Tactical Security, LLC, and we'll come straight up on your screen. Don't worry, give us a call and we'll take straight care of you. Thank you.
At the premiere of a film called Marcelo Mio on Tuesday, the singer had a bit of a tense exchange with security on the red carpet.
I was like, oh my gosh.
And now she's speaking out about what went down between the two in a new interview with AP Entertainment.
The woman knows what happened. I know what happened. And I have a boundary. And I stand by those boundaries. And that is it.
Yeah, Kelly's standing by her decision to confront the usher for seemingly rushing her up the steps, claiming she didn't see anyone else on the carpet getting that kind of treatment.
And there were other women that attended that carpet who did not quite look like me. And they didn't get there scolded or pushed off or told to get off. And I stood my ground. And she felt like she had to stand hers, but I stood my ground.
An insider tells the Daily Mail red carpet staff was being aggressive and Kelly was trying to ignore it. But by the time she got to the last security member, she had it. While Kelly was trying to wave to fans and help the paparazzi get their shot, the staffer allegedly scolded her, telling her to move.
I was like, wait a second, excuse me?
And according to Daily Mail source, Kelly doesn't care if she comes across like a diva if she knows that she is advocating for herself.
I mean, let's be very clear.
Welcome back to Black News. We're going to keep it rolling and get into the celebrity tea. So Kelly Rowland, why won't y'all leave her alone? She is the most unproblematic person in the world. She had to stand her ground yet again at the Cannes French Festival. So if you guys don't remember, she had a little bit, she had a lot to say when she went, did she go on Good Morning America? Mm-hmm. She went on Good Morning America about a couple of months ago, and they didn't even have a dressing room for her. And it wasn't the fact that there wasn't a dressing room, but it was kind of the fact that, you know, everybody else had a dressing room and everybody else, you know, everyone else has gone on the show. It's like, shit, that ain't ever happened to me. And she spoke on that, like, y'all got me just changing in this little closet. Like, I don't think it was celebrity privilege or nothing like that. She spoke on something that she didn't appreciate, and people turned it into this big thing. Like, she better be glad they had somewhere for her to change. I know celebrities that can get a bowl of green M&Ms and it don't have no other M&Ms in it, just a bowl of green M&Ms, and you guys are going to accommodate it. So I don't feel like she was being problematic, but here we go again. She feels like people is playing on her top yet again. She's on the red carpet at the film festival in Cannes. Some people are saying she was doing too much because the people in Cannes that's just how that culture is. They're really rude. They're really pushy. It's real go, 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 go. Mm-hmm. Well, it was go, 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 and it stopped at her because she was like, what you're not supposed to do is go, go, go me. So she's seen basically wagging her finger and going in on a lady on the red carpet, one of the security at the red carpet. And what happened was, on May 23rd, what happened was, one of her reps is saying that basically she was trying to go through, take her pictures with paparazzi. She's trying to wave with the fans. She's trying to be engaging, and they're being really, really, really pushy. And they were like that the entire time that she was on the carpet. And she just got tired. By the time, you know how that goes. This person's pushing you whenever you're trying to do something and you don't really know what you're doing, and then this person's doing it. And so by the time it got to like the fifth or sixth person doing that to her, she snapped. She turned around and she basically told her, like, you're not supposed to handle me like that. You can say whatever you were trying to say a little bit nicer. Everybody was like, girl, what happened? Kelly, what happened? Kelly answered in the most mature way that I think you can answer. She know what happened. I know what happened. I had a boundary and I stood on it. And I will always stand on my boundaries. Period. It's not tea. It's boundaries. It doesn't matter if you're rude to everybody else. If you got one person that's like, you're not supposed to treat me like that.
But that's just the thing. She wasn't doing that to everyone else. She was only doing it to the people of color.
Exactly.
There's been several other stories that have come out since then, and it wasn't just a African American person. It was a Asian pop person. It was a Hispanic person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For everybody of color, you want to be that way too, but
and that's what
the less melanated folk, it was okay for them to take their time. Like, wait a minute.
Yep. And Kelly's quote was actually, and I quote, there were other women there that didn't look like me, and they didn't get they didn't get scolded or told to get off. And so an insider, like I said, exactly what you're saying, is saying the people assigned to help the stars were hella aggressive. By the time she got to the last woman, she had it. She scolded Kelly and told her to move while she was waving at fans and interacting with paparazzi, and Kelly wasn't having it. Y'all cannot treat people how your day is going. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all gonna learn. Stop messing up.
In that day.
You really should have. You should have took an extra power nap or something, because
ate your Wheaties, something.
People are not letting this slide like we used to. We're just not.
Because you can't. Like, at the end of the day, we have to live in this world together. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to like each other, but we have to coexist. If you don't like me and I don't like you, if we're not doing a job and we got to be in a space together for a specific purpose, we ain't even got to talk to each other. But like, do what your job entails and keep it pushing. Exactly. Why go out of your way to be overly rude or aggressive when you don't even have to? Exactly. You just have to say 2 words to me.
Mm-hmm. I hate the mean girl era for no reason. Like, you just mad at breakfast, fam? I don't get it.
Did you skip a meal or something? Like,
I got a breakfast bar in my bag.
Like that is when I'm hangry.
You hear me? I got a breakfast bar in my bag, sis. We can split it. So speaking of other females that said not on my top and not today, my girl Jasmine Crockett, you know what she did? She went ahead and monetized B6. Y'all remember what B6 is?
Because they thought they was going to capitalize off that. They collect all your coins.
So from now on, when you hear bleach blonde, bad bilch body, now I got to say it over. And I've been practicing all week and I still can't say it. Bleach blonde, bad built butch body. She done coined it. So she said May 22nd, the Crockett Clapback collection. I like that.
The Clapback collection.
The Clapback collection goes towards all her campaign efforts. So it's a full line. It's set to feature wearable political sayings from our democracy. She says she posted the video to her ex saying that she'll be able to spot the fake apparel because they made an intentional mistake to ensure its authenticity. So on the real clothes, it's an error on the clothes, but she's not telling y'all where. but that's how she's gonna know if y'all just out here with y'all's cutters and presses making B6 shirts. Because she purposely put something in her shirt that we don't even know about. So I was gonna make a B6 shirt to support, but I'll buy one.
Purchase one.
I'll buy one. She says women wear makeup, lashes, all type of things to beautify ourselves. MAGA historically been on social media doing things like this and saying, oh, she's black with hair and lashes, she's so ghetto. And so to me, this was her buying into that rhetoric and trying to be funny and trying to comply this for her crowd. So yes, I absolutely think that the only reason she said that was to be racist towards me.
She didn't know she was going to get the clapback she got is what it was. And now folks is calling her that when they see it out in public.
Okay, so now she, okay, so y'all know that somebody else reshared it or shared something with somebody with like a distorted figure with lashes and stuff like that on. And little Marjorie, it's like she can't just get out she's still throwing stones and hiding a hand. She wanted to share it on her page trying to be funny on some, oh my God, this tickled me so much. And it's like kind of a racist picture with the lashes, like we know who you was talking about, pretty much. And so she keep on jumping back in the ring. So y'all can't keep on defending somebody that keeps on jumping back in the ring. But then, she made her little pity post too. So she put a little picture of her in the gym working out or whatever, and she was like, yeah, my body is built strong because there's no nip tucks or plastic or silicone. It's just a healthy lifestyle.
Is that what it is?
She didn't say you was built strong, baby. She said you was bad built. She didn't say nothing about your body looking strong. That was not no S.
Clarify that.
That was not even no S in there. That's B. That's bad built butch body. That's what she said. She didn't say nothing about you strong or natural or nothing.
But girl was referring to the butch, but that don't mean strong either.
You hear me?
You like fix that at the gym, but nice try. You tried
it. But gone, girl, gone. Stay out the match. Stop trying to be petty and then acting like you're not being petty. At least she's being forward with her stuff. Like she done trademarked her petty. I'm here for it. That is the kind of petty
but she
that I'm here for.
already knew. Just based on the things that Jasmine has done in the past, she had to have known that Jasmine was going to have a clapback. Like,
she tried
She had to have known, because when has Jasmine ever been silent?
She tried it, though, and it didn't work for her.
She thought she was going to take that rolling down. She was wrong. She thought she was going to be laying down now. She ain't going to say no. Why?
It's time. Everybody's fed up. It's like
everybody don't take the disrespect no more. We don't just let that roll off our back no more.
Can't keep poking the bear. Cannot. Another racist people in the news. After a week's worth of racist threats, a black dog walker's home was set on fire in San Francisco. What the fuck?
What the dog walker do? He's just walking people's heads.
He is a black man in a nice neighborhood.
That is wow.
So pretty much, he received racially threatening packages. On the packages, it had one package had a picture of him inside of it. And had all kinds of racial shit going across his face, all around the picture, different words. It said on the outside of the package, one of the packages said gangster, and the other package said thug, and said some racist phrases and racial words. We're not even gonna say it. We're not even gonna give them clout about it. Said some racist shit all over the package. Negative stuff about black people inside of the package, and it had a stuffed doll with a noose around its neck. Like this, whoever did this had some time on their hands. So
hurt you. Exactly.
So he got the packages one at a time. He didn't really call the cops or anything like that because, baby, I would have. The ones you sent, you got my picture.
You have my address.
You have my picture. The address thing. I can kind of feel like I'm just a black girl in a white neighborhood, but you have my picture. That's too much. The cops would have been there. But, so, like I said, he waited a couple of weeks and he waited for the packages to keep going. And then while he was out walking his dogs, they set his house on fire. The bomb squad was called out. Y'all ever call the bomb squad out for a house fire?
I thought the fire truck came.
I did too. Bomb squad was called out but wouldn't confirm or deny their reason for being there and if the catalyst of the fire was a bomb. If it wasn't, it's shit. Y'all don't need to worry. Go back in y'all's houses. Let's not make this a big scene. There was never a bomb here. You only don't confirm or deny
if it was.
when you can't deny.
Mm.
So here's the fucked up part. When he wasn't there, he was at work. His elderly parents were 81 and 79. They were in the house, trapped, as well as his pets. So they had to get broken out of the house and stuff. The mom didn't even know what was going on. She said she just woke up and she heard all kinds of sounds. She heard windows breaking and everything. And the dad was just trying to find his wife.
Oh my God.
But his parents were inside this house and they caught it on fire. And they have no leads. They have no leads to who did it. They have no suspects. They have no information. They can't figure this out. But what I'm saying is the neighborhood, that's the actual picture of the actual house. I'm willing to guess that somebody on that block got a Ring camera. Or, a Ring bell.
Who called 911? Start there.
Those houses have security systems where you could easily go over here and be like, hey, do you, can we see what happened? Their house is on fire. Boop-de boop-de boop. So
that's wild.
There's no leads. There's nothing. Basically, they was like, we don't know how it got started. We don't know what did it. It could have been a bomb. It couldn't have been a bomb.
What else is on that street? I guarantee you it's a store, a gas station, or something. Like, exactly. What is... So ain't nobody got no cameras. Don't nobody know what's going on. But y'all quick to say somebody's stealing y'all trash.
That's how I feel about it too. I'm upset with I'm so upset because it's so many stories where it's like, yep, that's happening.
But then when it happens to you, it's, oh my God. If you see something, say something.
See something? I didn't see shit and my camera don't work. Leave me alone.
The battery was dead that day.
So I hope that something comes out of this because you don't just get to, because if he retaliates because you're on his property, fucking with his pets and his mama and his daddy, then what happens? Sad world, sad world. We need to get it together. Let's move on to Ed Dwight. He is America's first black astronaut candidate that flies into space. Y'all don't know how I feel about space, so I'm going to keep it to myself. But apparently Ed Dwight is the first black astronaut candidate, like we said. So back in the day, he was an air pilot. He did a lot of things already. He wanted to be in space, but he couldn't because he was black. So, what is the name of that shuttle? The Blue Orbit? The Blue Origin? I'm trying to find my notes on it because I took a lot. Because I'm kind of fascinated about space and astronauts and whatnot. But I don't know too much about it. So the Blue Origin rocket is the rocket that takes non-astronauts into space. So if your bread is good.
If your money is
good, you can go to space. You can travel up for 11 minutes into space. First off, what's the lift to space that you can get there in 11 minutes? I can't even get to Walmart in 11 minutes. So y'all go.
I can't even get 2 miles up the street in 11 minutes. So
how we get out the Earth's atmosphere in orbit in 11 minutes? But he said he went. So basically, the Blue Origin rocket is the same rocket, though, that we've only had one attempt of this. Like in December of 2022, this rocket shot up into space to take the non-astronauts into space. And y'all don't remember? It started kind of going off track and stuff, and the rocket crashed into the Earth, and the capsule that all the people was in was like, it was safe and it was okay, but y'all don't remember that? The rocket exploded.
I think I was in Houston when that happened. The hotel.
The rocket exploded, baby. And now, 2 years later, listen, if a rocket explodes, my black ass is not about to be like, y'all got it. Y'all
it's out the shop. It's out the shop. Y'all ain't tried again since then.
Like, what? So the Blue Origin rocket is the same rocket that did all of this in 2022, December 2022. So, baby, that wasn't even a whole 2 years. It won't be a whole 2 years until December 2024. So a year and some change ago, the rocket exploded. And we all have to send folks back up on that and try it again.
No power to him. Because what?
Oh, my God. So anyway, the former U.S. air pilot, he was a guest of honor on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket. 60 years ago, he was handpicked by JFK to join the space race.
Didn't Jeff Bezos own Amazon? What he know about rockets?
Baby, this is the rich rocket. Like, it was like they was taking you don't remember this? They was taking deposits.
Just because you took a great thing and made it something great on the ground, don't mean you do the same thing.
They was taking deposits and shit. You got 50 bands, you can go to space. You got $500,000, you can go to space. What? That's how space was supposed to work. Anyway, so
it's gonna be some submarine shit.
You hear me? So
I'm sorry, submersibles.
So he was handpicked by JFK to join the space race, but disappointed because y'all know that we wasn't letting black folks fly into space back then. So he set on his dream and he got to do it. He gets to do it this year. So.
Well, we pray for a safe return on some experimental shit.
Yes, I mean, because right now that's dead ass what it looks like, that you're the experiment. You're
like the submersible.
It's looking super experimental right now. But we gonna go to break. We're gonna go to break one more time. See y'all in a second.
Papa Charles, you younger than them. How did that happen?
Well, that's what you're only talking about a year. So that's not very young. So don't say that because she thinks she's older than me and she bossed me around.
Come on with it.
Just because she's a year older, she thinks she can boss me. We are the Johnsons.
Love through the ages. Roll 1A, scene 1, shot 1, take 2.
I am Charles Johnson, 77 years old. Grew up on the east side of town in Waco, Texas, and we rekindled our marriage after 30 years, and we're happy. I went in the Army in November of '68.
Mother says he's here at the Tarrant County Jail on suicide watch, and because of his mental health, he never should have been brought here in the first place.
Well, Kaiyere was diagnosed with an IDD and high-functioning autism at the age of 2.
Chantel Taylor is worried sick about her son surviving his stay in jail. She says he's mentally ill, needs help, and what she saw during jail visits was disturbing.
Just in his cell, urinating, defecating in there, food all over the place. He's naked in there.
Fort Worth officers arrested Kaiyere Campbell December 11th after police say he attacked an elderly group home worker. In these court documents, a judge declared him incompetent to stand trial and ordered him transferred to a state mental health facility. But the wait for a state hospital bed is anywhere from 200 days to almost a year and a half, according to State Health and Human Services. The document goes on to show Kaiyere stopped taking his meds and has refused to eat.
I'm afraid that I'm going to lose him, so that's why I'm taking the detrimental steps that I need.
WFAA reached out to the Tarrant County Jail, but we have not heard back. Her son's case has gotten the attention of Pamela Young's organization, United Fort Worth.
United Fort Worth is a grassroots organization.
One of their missions is helping people in jail who suffer from mental health issues. Young says Kaiyere's case mirrors some of the 64 Tarrant County jail deaths over the past few years.
Kaiyere will never be deemed competent to stand trial because he has an intellectual developmental disability.
They hope to convince Tarrant County officials to drop his criminal charges and expedite his transfer to a hospital.
Welcome back, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Black News. We got another story for you guys. This one is from Tarrant County, so in Fort Worth, Texas. Tarrant County inmate with the mental capacity of a child is pleading, his family is pleading for them to drop the charges so that he can get help. Kaiyere Campbell has the intellectual and mental developmental disability, and he doesn't even know what he's been locked up for. He's been deemed incompetent to even stand trial, but there's nowhere else for him to go. They won't take him anywhere. So basically what happened is when he was in his facility, he ended up assaulting one of the nurses there. She was 72 years old. She didn't call the cops for them to arrest him. She called for him to be escorted to be taken to another facility where they could better handle him. He's strong. He's very, very strong, and he's very, very big, but his mind is like that of a toddler. So she didn't want anything to happen to him. She basically called them for them to transport him to another facility. She thought that he was at another facility, and it ends up whenever they were all looking for him and that he was in jail. And he's been in jail. He has been in jail this whole time. So it happened in December. He was arrested in December. He's been in jail for 6 months. His mom says that he's lost 100 pounds and he doesn't even understand why he has to keep clothes on. Like, he's a baby. So the advocates and the speakers that stepped in, they've gone to visit him and stuff. And the reason that they're speaking in is because they said that his cell, it's covered in excrements and food scraps. Again, he's a baby. So the mom is basically saying that even whenever he was in her care, it's like round the clock, someone has to be taking care of him. They're treating him as if he's an adult 21-year-old, but in fact, like, he needs round the clock care. He needs somebody in his face all day, every day. He's wasting away 100 pounds. Can you imagine losing 100 pounds in 6 months?
6 months, wow.
In 6 months. They were supposed to take him to JPS Mental Health. I guess that's in Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. That's where they were supposed to take him, and that's not where he ended up. So right now, the family, there's not a lot of information other than that, but the family is trying to have anyone reach out to whoever to say, hey, help, what are we supposed to do? They said that there's not enough places for instances like this, but jail couldn't have
been the only option.
Jail couldn't have been the option for it. It's like he needs help, not punishment. Like, you guys are punishing him.
If there's no help for him here, why not find another location where there is help? Why would your only resort be to take this young man to jail?
And why is he still there is my question.
What are you holding him for?
Can they legally hold him?
How? Nobody even pressed charges against him, so how?
He can't even stand trial. He's already been proven by them that he's mentally incompetent to stand trial. So why is he being held? And furthermore, if the lady that it happened to, if she's saying, I never called y'all to arrest. I called you guys to transport him to the facility where there were stronger people to kind of assist. Mm-hmm. I never said arrest him. I didn't call y'all to avenge me. Why is he still in jail? I don't even know what to do with that. But the mom, it's been hard on her. She says it's been 6 months and he's still in there. And even with that, that's kind of, I hate to be the person that's always saying stuff like, I know this person. I don't know anybody that's hitting on females, but I know cases when people are getting slaps on the wrist for beating someone's ass, and they are not in jail for 6 months. They walking around, and he's a child, and I don't know. That story really, I really, my heart goes out to his mom, and I hope that the correct advocates and the correct officials hear her out and advocate for her child. So, Miss Campbell, my heart and stuff just goes out to you guys. Just praying for y'all. Our last couple of stories, we have one, a positive one, a very, very positive story about a teenager, another smart baby. Shout out to Black people. Chicago teen by the name of Dorothy Jean Tillman just became the youngest person to earn her doctoral degree at the age of 17.
Wow.
What was I doing at 17? I think I was making dance routines in my mirror.
I was homeless at 17.
Wow, she's doing way better than
have a mirror.
She's doing way better than us at 17. Mm-hmm. So she became the youngest person, like I said, to earn a doctoral degree. But she took her first college course when she was 10. And she had an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's by the time she was 14. Okay, overachiever.
Okay.
I love it.
Put your time to use.
So shout out to her.
But I always wonder, for kids who make amazing accomplishments like that, how does their social life suffer? You know what I'm saying? Because when you get out in the world, you still have to be able to navigate and have certain relationships with people. And if you don't practice that, I guess, so to speak, how do you perfect that? I mean, I guess of course at some point she can, but that's where that social anxiety and that introvertness and stuff comes into play. Because like you spend all your time with your nose in the book is great because that's what they preach and push down your throat the entire time. But like, did you have the time to just go out for ice cream? Like, did you get to just enjoy some kid moments? And you was like, dang, I don't want to study today. Like, I just need.
Did you get to be a child?
Did you?
And now I'm a former educator, so I can speak on how that affects. Because, everybody wants their child to be the smartest kid in the class. There's so much other elements of the developmental process than just the academic one, first off. You don't have to be the smartest. Like, I'm proud of her. Like, that's dope.
Yeah.
But there's so much pressure on the academic part. And your child might be a child that's not built for 2 + 2 is 4, but that doesn't take away from who your child is, first off. Second, not just even growing up, but being an educator and being a teacher, it's the kids that it's like pressured for them to always be advanced, that are socially, like what you said, socially awkward, like not even to be bullied on or nothing like that, socially awkward, but they don't know how to make friends. They don't know how to be friends.
Communicate, with another person.
And a lot of it is they don't know how to be friends.
Or they get that mental stress. That's where a lot of those mental disorders and like teens come into play. Because like now you got all this pressure from your parents. Like, and I'm not saying all parents are like that because they might not be.
Right.
Wholeheartedly
just because
that's what the kid is interested in. But in those cases where those parents are really pushing it and putting that pressure on them, like that's a huge mental strain.
Yes. And then you have the other aspect of it, like I'm just naturally smart, but now like I said, she had degrees by 14, meaning
I didn't even have a job,
which means she was, you know what I mean? But like I had a kid when I was growing up, and he was like 6 years younger than us in middle school and in high school, and it made him socially weird and over sexualized. It made him over sexualized because you are a 10-year-old, but you're around teenagers,
16s
that have are rightfully so in puberty and things like that, and it just everything was like and it's like, baby, you're 7, sit down, and it like. As we got older and stuff, he became like that weird, creepy kid,
Yeah.
Like, but what it was it's like, it doesn't matter how advanced you are mentally, your body is not going to.
It ain't gonna jump
the psychological you're not going to skip the pubescent and the adolescent stage. That's got to come natural. And it's like now you have a 7-year-old that is put in a setting with kids that have already had their 7-year-old stage, and they moving on to proms and dancing and kissing and holding hands and this, and now he's over here.
Yeah.
And it's like he's trying to keep up,
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's a lot of different things whenever we're pressuring kids to be that far ahead. I don't think she's being pressured. That's not what I'm saying.
Those parents who are genuinely just supportive and, your kids do it because that's what they like, shout out to y'all.
But so we'll move on from there. But good job, Dorothy. And we're going to end the news with a what the fuck story. This is going to be like some true crime shit, pretty much. Like, I thought it was going to be some cutthroat, like, yep, we already know who did that. And then the story just kept getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Lululemon Murder. Yeah, I can go Google it. It's called the Lululemon Murder. So, y'all heard of Brittany Norwood? You haven't heard of Brittany Norwood? Okay. So this one is taking it back a little bit, but I could not pass on reporting the story because now it's resurfaced because they're trying to figure out what she's going to be charged with, basically. So Washington, D.C. suburb, a 911 call was made to a local Lululemon. Lululemons are like yoga clothes distributors and all of that stuff. Yes. One pair of leggings is going to be like $80. They thought that there was a robbery. When the cops and everyone pulled up to the scene, it was something weirder. They entered the store. They found 2 women in the store. Brittany Norwood, a Caucasian lady. That's not Brittany Norwood on our thumbnail. We will get to her in a minute. Brittany Norwood is the Caucasian lady. She had a laceration on her head, and her arms and her legs were zip tied. So like she was like on the floor.
She was like hog tied,
pretty much. The lady in the thumbnail is actually Jana Murray. She laid lifeless, and she was stabbed 330 times in a time frame. In a time
330
in a time frame of 20 minutes.
Dang, they always wasn't tied.
With several different weapons. The cops originally worked the premise that both of the ladies was attacked, but the math was not mathing. We gonna keep going. So Norwood was like, shit, 2 men came in his store. They had their shiesties on and they attacked us. They killed her and they raped me. Okay. They took her notes, took all the notes, yada, yada, yada. The evidence was now starting to pile up. They got everything that they thought, but the evidence was piling up on her, on Norwood. So the chief of police noted that it was only two sets of footprints throughout that entire store. Just 2. One of them were Norwood shoes, and the other ones was a size 14 shoe that they later recovered inside the store. So that shoe, she used that shoe that was already a Lululemon shoe to play in the blood and act like a killer did it. She got a man's shoe and she did it. We're about to find out why. So here's T. Norwood had already been stealing. Like, she a thief. She go into stores. She a klepto. Everybody know that. She don't get allowed into nobody's stores because she always stealing some shit. She stole some leggings from Lululemons. Earlier that day, Jayla worked at Lululemon. So Jayla told her manager, this ain't coming out my check. The clothes is missing. She took them. They asked her to leave. Investigators assumed that that's why she came. That's why she told her to come back to the store. So she called the store and she was like, I left my wallet in the store. Can you unlock it so I can get it? I know it's already after store hours, but I left my wallet. And if you just unlock the store, I can go in there. She doesn't know that this is the lady that was stealing. She just thinks like a random person left their wallet in the store. Okay, cool. I'm closing down anyway. Come on. When she gets there, finds out it's Brittany, the thief, the little motherfucker that was stealing earlier in the day. So it's kind of like on some, you know damn well your wallet wasn't in here, because if your wallet was in here, you wouldn't have stolen them leggings. So they kind of have a back and forth, pretty much. She was initially going to plead her case on some, I just needed some leggings, I'm sorry, da-da-da-da-da. But she was like, I already told my manager, because if I would have gotten in trouble, my manager already know you took them hoes. So it ain't nothing to talk about. That's when shit went south. Norwood snapped and she attacked her, killed her, and then that's when she made up the fake crime scene. She's convicted on first-degree murder, and she's going to face life in prison. Nobody raped her. Nobody came in the store with shiesties. It was just her, and she used everything in the store to basically stab her.
For some leggings?
For some leggings.
You just ruined the rest of your life for some leggings.
That she stole. My thing is, what did you come back for the store? What did you come back? Like, the shit had already happened earlier in the day. I'm trying to think of your thought process, because even them saying she was coming back to plead her case, I'm not a thief. But if I took everything from Walmart and I dipped and I went home, I'm not going back up to Walmart on
the same day.
Let me holler at y'all real quick and tell y'all while I did it. I'm not, like, y'all didn't arrest me. I'm not in trouble. You won't have to worry about seeing me in Walmart ever. Not in this Walmart. Why would she go back and, like, confront her by herself? Like, I wonder what really, really happened, because even the police, everything else made sense, but that little theory, like, she went back to plead her case and then
that sounds like bullshit.
It does. Like, why did she?
You went back with a purpose.
What did you? I feel like you was already beefed up when you went back, because bitch, what you tell on me for? Like, these ain't even your leggings. Like, I feel like you was already mad when you.
Matter of fact, what did you do with the leggings? Did you sell them? Was you on drugs?
How much is Lululemon leggings that just got folks wilding out like this and stabbing people?
Child, my wife got a fanny pack for Christmas, and she was looking like, oh.
But yes, that is crazy. So that's my what the fuck news, and I thank you guys all for watching Black News in general. We try real hard to cover all the stories that you might not hear a lot. Next week we'll be back with more stories. I'm Krissie Bee, your friendly neighborhood journalist, and I'll see y'all later.